Alright, I want to say good morning to everybody. This is a morning video. It's a late morning video. How are you doing, guys? In this video, I'm not going to rant. I just woke up a short while ago. Got a cup of coffee here. Recently I made some videos. Ranting about shit on Facebook. I've not been on Facebook or anything recently. It's not about that, okay? It's not shit that I've had. But I know a lot of people have had so much trouble, and I know friends of mine that have been blocked and stuff off of social media platforms, notably Facebook mainly, for like even periods of time, just for using certain words and things. Now, what's my take on this? Okay, what is my take on free speech? You know, political correctness. Obviously, you know that I think political correctness is nonsense. Obviously, I think people are being brainwashed, absolutely, by societies. Brainwashed by the brainwashed, basically. That's what it is. Whenever you're being brainwashed or controlled or manipulated or, you know, pushed and pulled around by some bully and trying to be intimidated, you're dealing with someone that is literally brainwashed by their own confusion, if that makes sense, by fear. Fear is what drives and pushes people. Now, fear can push you to do good things too. It can give you a drive, a determination, which is what it is, right? But it can also give you that in the wrong direction, when people panic and they don't know what they're doing and they're not logical, but they think they're being logical. But what we have is people that are in this world are doing, trying to hurt people, bring people down, because they are actually angry, and they're directing this energy which they see as positive, because most people think they're doing the right thing in life, don't forget. And that controls their steps and the way they treat others, and they see people as the enemy. The problem with people is too many people see other people as the enemy and themselves as the victim. Now, I've talked to you about my life and how I've, had to suffer. I've been bullied when I was growing up. I've been bullied. I deal with it on a daily basis. I can, even now, I still can feel when I'm trying to be intimidated by other people or certain things. This has been from childhood till now. I think we can all do that. I think anyone can still relate to, this person is trying to manipulate things here, or this person is trying to get in my face here, It's like when you do that, you might say, well, hang on, am I literally being the paranoid one? It's not about that, see. So what I'm trying to say is, though, I'm not trying to make up some sob story for people. We need to understand what it actually is to be offended and upset and out of control in our minds. If you get angry about things that people say and think, where's the logic to that? The only logic I can see is that you would fear that there's a possibility of something, which is already ridiculous, but in some way, but it's like you fear that it could lead to actual consequences, like it could encourage others to do this, or it could encourage a group of people or another individual to go out and actually do physical harm to someone, or encourage the masses to maybe bring in new laws and things that control the land, that oppresses you and whatever you believe in, and that might be your way of life, or your way of life here, or your people, or whatever it is, your flag, or your race, or your group of people that believe in a certain thing, or whatever it might be. Any kind of belief, I'm saying, whether it be belief in anything. I'm not even going to say it could be anything, any kind of thing. All these different movements that people are fighting for, different groups and things. But the thing is, we're talking about could, and you say, well, no, look, man, you've got to do, and then I hear this talk about statistics and things, people talking about numbers and how well, you've got to do the stats, man. You've got to like look at what could happen, or you need to look and study what has happened in the past and look and predict. It's like you look up at the sky, it's a bit cloudy, you know there's a high chance of it going to rain, or if you put a load of buckets of paint in a room on the floor, and then you put a bunch of kids in the room, what do you think's going to happen? Do you think when you come back that room's going to be totally clean, or is it going to be paint everywhere? Kids will be kids, right? Just giving you a hypothetical thing there, but I'm just saying, okay, you know, this is the thing though, this could and would, you see, if you're talking about law and things like, you know, don't put this there, because that, don't put that gun there, because if you put that gun there, that someone might pick it up and shoot someone. And it's like might or may. It's like you see, it's like you know what I mean. It's like, so you know, prevention's better than cure, but it's like there's certain things you can. When we're talking about could and would, especially with words, doesn't make much sense. You see, if you're talking about realistic prevention things like, oh, make a barrier there so people don't fall off the building or run onto the motorway or fall onto the electric train rails, put a glass window, you know, then these things make sense. But when you're talking about the ideas, the like, don't, or you can't say this, you can't say that, because something else might happen, it may trigger someone. Anything may trigger someone. Someone might be talking about the different kinds of cheeses that are available, and someone might fucking flip and go absolutely so angry, and there might be someone who's against eating dairy products, you know, and that might resonate with something that their great grandmother had said before she died or something, and then a group of people might even form together on Facebook or somewhere talking about this, and oh yeah, that's wrong, you know, your goodness, and they make a new movement or something, you know, and one person or a group of people go out, and then the masses, and then it ends up some big thing, or they end up attacking people, and it's like, it's crazy, because they're offended, because they're upset, because of their way of life, or their belief. How is that an offence? So how do we know? And you know, you just don't always know if you're going to offend someone, and some people don't even know if that person knows or not. Whether you call them stupid, ignorant, culturally different in terms of their thinking, be it based on their culture, you know, their background, or what is their level of intelligence, or the way they're seeing things. There's a crazy, insane thing going on with this political correctness where, you know, and another crazy thing, the other side to it is, it doesn't matter to them. It's like, when the masses, see, they're afraid of letting word or ideas get out there because it could spread to the masses and control the masses to, or what's the word, influence the masses to do certain things. Whether it be violence or whether it hatred, violence through hatred. I don't believe hatred is wrong, because certain people do hate certain things, and certain people for different reasons. It's like, I hate certain things, as I've said before, but it's not that I hate people, and I would not try to harm people. It's just that I hate certain ways of life and certain habits, based on my own logic and my own understanding of those things, whatever's wrong or right to whatever level. But I know that everybody's entitled to their own way of life, as long as it doesn't bother mine, and they're allowed to say and think what they want. Absolutely what they want too, absolutely. As long as they don't harm other individuals or the earth that we're living in, you know. Excuse me now, but yeah, I'm just saying now, but so they're afraid to get the word out there, because it will, the ideas of individuals, they'll shut individuals down to control them, so that they're not able to express themselves freely. So that mess, that can spread the idea to more people, and that can cause them maybe to make changes in laws and everything. So it's understandable in some way, but the thing is, when the majority does, they're conforming already to the majority. The majority wants to take control. They want to be part of it. It's like a big massive mob gang thing. So when you do have a mass of people and there's that much, then their say goes, whatever is right or wrong. All the ideas about justice and morality and fairness and trying not to offend and upset someone's just their inner feelings and their mind. How do you know how that works even, or the other person? But when you talk about that, there's no truth there about really caring about an individual, because the mass is always going to do that. You'll see it for yourself. Someone will type a message up or say something on YouTube or anywhere, and there'll be a bunch of comments below it with people supporting each other. Usually, because that's what usually happens. You get nasty comments too, but sometimes you'll get like people that watch this and like this because they've looked for that kind of thing, and that's what they're into. And a lot of people, or they'll see certain things, but there's the people that support on there. They'll get their supporters. People like to support people that have their views. See, again, people like to support people that have their views. So what you'll see is a lot of people giving each other thumbs up, kiss each other's arse, and give their views, and they all want to be part of this big comments thing. It's like that's bigger. It's like this is the shopping mall where everybody's at, buying it. But it's like they forget what they went in for in the first place, But it's like they're all there, and as soon as one or two people say something against it, then the others will be like, well, let's stand up against this bully. It's crazy. They want to stand. They think the other one's a bully. Yeah, even if they don't realise that they may be wrong and unjust, but they'll just put the other person down for having a different view. Period. And that some of these people might even be more offensive. And where is the morality in people? And what always gets me as well is all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And if there was no laws for a moment, there'd be total anarchy in the streets. And you've seen what's going on in the world, and you say, well, there's people fighting for their freedoms and stuff in certain places in the world, like Hong Kong. Hong Kong's having the riots. You got this yellow vests movement thing. You've got other stuff going on all over the world. Like you get all these different kinds of protests, Extinction Rebellion, blah blah blah. They've all got their reasons and motives, and it's all driven through justice. We're not saying they're evil, but it's like a lot of those people are just driven because to what they see is it's just, and they have to fight for their rights, what they deserve to be, because they're being controlled by a higher power always, the government, the big enemy, And the problem with people is the biggest problem I feel is a lot of people don't realise what they do have. I'm not saying just have what you're given and fed, while the others sit on gold thrones, fair enough. But what I'm trying to say is people are always thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. Their life is really hard. And the biggest thing they worry about is being treated fairly. And they can't even understand the concept of fair, because they think fair means right and good. You've got two people, right? And you give one person, maybe one could be a child, one could be an old lady or an old man, one could be a big fat man, one could be a little skinny person. Are you going to give that person the same amount of sugar or salt in their food, or ingredients, or potatoes, or fucking apples? Are you going to give the same amount of stuff to this one and that one, or the same amount of money to two different people? I remember I saw this a good long time ago. One of my favourite old Donnie Yen movies, kung fu film called Iron Monkey. Iron Monkey. That was the English name of the film. Iron Monkey. Okay, Iron Monkey. And in the movie, Donnie Yen is the star. It's a martial arts movie. It's a great movie. Okay, from the 80s. I don't know. I think late 80s, early 90s, maybe actually, early 90s. But anyway, it's one of the Hong Kong legends, like collection, one of the old classics, kung fu films. Okay, if anyone knows, that film, in Iron Monkey, okay, there's one scene there's one scene where he gives like he's giving money to the poor. It's like almost like it's like a Robin Hood type thing, but with kung fu basically. But it's like that kind of thing. He is like the kung fu Robin Hood basically, more or less. He's stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, but it's like the bad guy, as I'm saying. He's a just person. But what it is like, I remember there's one scene I think where he gives the money or something to someone, and he says he gives more money to one, or he gives no money to the other one, or he gives more money. And he said, hey, why did you pay him more than me? And he said, well, he's a rich man. They said, well, they said, why did you pay him? Why did you pay me less than him? He said, you're a rich man. He said, he's poor. You know, he's trying to feel the needs of people. The needs are different. It's not just about treat people fairly. Now, who to say who needs what? We're all human beings. We all deserve. I believe. What do we need in society? We all need a roof over our head, food, and enough to live on. And you say, well, hang on, we've got to keep people in the fucking shit, excuse my language, because if we give them enough to live on, they might just sit on their arse and do nothing, and we'll have no society around us. Nobody will be building buildings, nobody will be driving the trains, we'll have no people working in the doctor's hospital, whatever, you know, yeah, and the shops and the factories and the restaurants. So, now the thing is, yes and no, see? So it's a weird thing. It's like the idea of money and this like wanting to do better in life as they see it, which is not truly better in nature, but a lot of people, they want to do things, and a lot of people, they're like, it actually is good because it makes them work, and it makes them work for more money and better what they think is a better life. If they didn't think it was a better life and they understood my fucking logic, which I'm saying the truth is the truth and nature's nature, if they understood that the bare essentials are really all you need, and then you can just focus on your own peace and yourself, then the problem is a lot of people wouldn't be pushed to do much. So it's like almost like that's why they're keeping people in such a situation where there's so many starving people, or like so many people who are like just barely getting by in society, is what I'm saying. But they'll give them enough to like, it's like you know what I'm trying to say though, right? So it's making it hard. But I don't know. I'm just saying it's all bullshit anyway, and you know. But most people in society think that their life's hard. They want to be treated fairly, and they care about whoever's earning more money than them, or when it comes to their rights, like rights here, rights there. But then again, the true righteousness and morality is not even there, because in a lot of situations in life, they're very unjust and nasty towards one another through this greed. And they're absolutely insane that anything will upset them, people's opinions and what people say will upset them. And anyway, so true freedom of speech and free talk, like you know, last night I was watching a video with David Icke again. I like David Icke very much for a lot of the things he says, you know. Anyway, mate, yeah, and this guy, as I say, he's the things he's said, you know, some of the stuff is right. But the point I'm trying to say is, like, you know, freedom, like, you know, freedom. There's people, right, who go online and they are not allowed to. They play the same kind of role that they play in society. When they go to work, some of these people, when they go out into the real world, a lot of these people, they play a role. They speak a certain way, they act a certain way. They're always under control. They're never free, so they're always under pressure, and they act erratic. And this is what happens when they're online now. When they go on the computer, they think they're free, that behind the computer screen, and they can just express anything they want, as long as it goes with the rest of everybody. They want to advertise themselves like a product, selling themselves so that they're going to be bought and be part of this thing, which is ultimately nothing, you know. It's like water that's found its way into some crevice somewhere and the water's just flowing around in there. It's not going anywhere. It's just getting stale. It's not going to flow. There's no outlet. It's not going to flow back to the river, to the sea, or whatever. It's like a boulder that's rolled off the top of the cliffs and it's just rolling down. And it's not going to go back up there ever again. No one's going to take it back up there either. So, and there's no purpose to it, but yet it exists. And us not being rocks, but being people, but able to flow like water, you know. But we're here and we do have purpose. Purpose is basically in your meaning and what you believe it to be. That's what I believe, because then your purpose drives you to do whatever you do in this life. If all you do is follow other people around, I mean, can you imagine a rock rolling around following another rolling rock? It'd be kind of strange, right? Spooky. But okay, let's imagine two rocks out there in the field, the Grand Canyon, or somewhere down there by the grass, you know, whatever. Some rocks. Okay, two rocks there. One's not moving, the other one's not moving. It's like they're following each other. There's a connection there, isn't there? Both the same, both going fucking nowhere. Yeah? So, see, but each one is like what it is, you know. Now you are what you are. But the other rock's not a rock doesn't try to be the other rock. So why would you try to be, as a human being, why would you try to be another human being? Like, to be like the rock, mimicking it, almost like it's acting the same way without action in you. It's a heavy life, I'll say it that way. You're just stuck in a place. So what I want to say, okay, is there was a sentence, something actually about the darkness. I was watching a documentary. I watched part of it up until one part pissed me off, but the rat. But let's forget that for now. Yeah, but I want to say about the documentary about this old movie of the 80s, I believe, of was it James Cameron? Cameron? Was it? I think that's right. The Abyss, if I'm right, The Abyss. And there was a sentence that came out, it's a phrase, or what do you call it? Something that someone said. I don't know. Okay, you have to look up who said this. I forgot. Okay, in history. But someone has said, was it? The more you look into the abyss, or the further, or the more, or the deeper, or the further, or something you look into the abyss, or the more you reach into the abyss, or something like that, the more the abyss reaches into you, or that's it. The more you look into the abyss, that's it. The more you look into the abyss, the more the abyss looks into you, or something like that, you know. So I don't know. It's like, the further you go away from the destination, the further the destination goes away from you. You know. Anyway, but yeah, a lot of people are just like in the abyss, you know, just walking around in the darkness. So I believe that people do have their own minds and opinions anyway. So when it comes to freedom of speech, what do I believe? I believe that there are certain things that we should not say, like literally tell people to go out and do terrible things, violent acts and stuff. That's obvious, right? When it comes to this, maybe that, yeah, that's what laws are there for, as David Icke was saying. That's what we've got laws there for. And things are looked into. If someone tells somebody to kill someone or blow a building up or set it on fire, things like that, then the police are going to be, the law's there, you know what I mean? And they'll intervene in, but still they can only do it after the point of, what do you call it, the point of steps that have been taken, you know. So they can try and ban people from saying this kind of stuff as well, but it's like that's understandable to take action and, you know, take messages and things like that down off the internet if need be. But it's like, yeah, you know, like you know, yeah, when an actual action has been taken or attempted to be done, you know, then people can take that action. Like, you can't lock someone up. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty, right? But nowadays they're saying you're not even innocent for speaking what you say. So people can be controlled in what they say, and that's the end all, is it? And you say, well, yeah, as long as they don't say it, they can think it, but they don't have to say it. It's all about the mind, though. You're afraid that the idea is going to be spread. So people have certain ideas. There's people that seem very just in this world who have all kinds of thoughts. There's other kinds of crazy people out there who have really sadistic, sick thoughts in the world. Now, you'd hope that they wouldn't have those thoughts, right? What are you going to do? Put them in the mental asylum? And you say, oh no, that's been closed down now because it was deemed as cruel treatment to people. Actually, everybody's allowed to be thinking whatever they want. But as soon as that person goes out and kills someone, you'll be complaining about it. So it's like, there's people that do have mental issues, and you'd wish them to actually have some kind of come around, what's the word, clarity of mind formed, be it through some kind of training, some psychiatry treatment, or from their own, you know. Excuse me, I just farted. You know, but I'm just saying, I feel what I'm trying to say is put some light on the subject. When I engulf myself in flames. Just kidding. I shitted on petrol. No. But back to what I'm saying. So, you know, but yeah, some people are crazy. Some people have got these mad thoughts, you know, evil, sadistic. The thing is, like, would you then say there should be control over people, control over thoughts, and control over people? Ultimately, it's okay. Is it? They plug people's brains into things. Why have a lie detector machine when you can have an absolute thought control machine? So they're trying to control each other's thoughts anyway now, and control each other without even realising that the brainwashed are trying to lead them, create more brainwash. The brainwashed people are being controlled by the brainwashed. And it's like it's almost like they wish they had magic powers and magic spells of the demons, almost like, you know, like of the witches, where they can control you, and they want to have a machine where they can brainwash everybody and make them robots of the what do you call it, of the hypnotized army, you know, whatever, you know, like some old classic black and white sci-fi horror flick or something, you know. So the point is, that's where they're heading. They're trying to put that technology as well, and they're talking about plugging your brain into things and brainwashing you, but until then, they're like just getting you able to like be brainwashed enough so you walk further and further into that thing, and it's getting closer. Again, the further you walk into the abyss, you go into the abyss, enter the abyss, the further the abyss enters you. That's what I'm saying. The further you enter the abyss, the further the abyss enters you. And I think that's what this video needs to be called, the abyss. The abyss. The abyss, man. That's what I'm going to name this video. I don't give a fuck now. The abyss. I'm going to call this the abyss PC. People will probably see this link and probably be so disappointed because it's nothing to do with like a PC game about the original movie, The Abyss, but there probably is one. There probably are games about that movie, so don't worry. This coffee's okay, guys. But yeah, you know, you know, I've got to pick my nose. You know. Love your life. I'm going to stop this video here and say thanks for watching. I do express myself freely. I do swear sometimes. I do get fucking ratty sometimes. Well, not ratty, but I get, you know, I don't give a shit, right? Just love life. You can't live like a slave. Don't try and control people. We've all got our own minds. We need to understand to constantly spread positive messages, though, like as in saying, I don't like this, I don't like that, I hate this, I hate that, it fucking infuriates me, whatever. You can say that. It's to me, my personal opinion, this is wrong or this is disgusting. I think you should be allowed to say those thoughts, but as long as you say, because you saying what you like or what you don't like or saying anything you want about it, that's not my mind. But I get influenced over that? Come on now. But as long as people put a message out there where they say, don't harm people that do this or that. Don't, you know, what's the word, influence people. And you say, but that's like children, like I said, like a room full of paints, and the children in the room with paint buckets, they're going to create a mess, right? Or like, there's a load of cookies on the table, and you tell the kids, don't eat the cookies while I'm out, nobody touch even one, because you know they're going to do it. You tell kids don't do this. It's the same with adults. You tell adults don't do this, don't do that. They're going to be rebellious. You know, that's just the thing. Your rebellion is going to lead your ass to motherfucking extinction. About Extinction Rebellion? Fuck. It's more like a rebellious extinction. Extinct rebellious. You go against nature. You know, if you walk out the door, there's no coming back. It's almost like that nasty bastard parent told their kid. You know what I mean? If you cross this line, I'm never going to forgive you again, and you'll never be allowed into this cage again, and I'll never feed you. If you walk out that cage, there's no return. Are you seriously living like that in society? Dressing up the way you dress, speaking the way you speak, and then going online to come on now. Just thinking about your money and how you want to impress people. Oh yeah, so and so's earning so much. Oh, you know, there's good money in that. I want to try that for a career. I'm going to move on to better things. Understand what is better for you. What is your point in living? Have you got any passion? So you have any hobbies or anything you like to do, or nothing? Or is it all based around other people, what they want and what they like, and how they salute you, just so that they greet you in the morning and say, oh hi, there's Dave, he's got a new car, you know, I'm going to get one as well. Shut the fuck up, man. Oh, there's John. Who's John? Oh, he's that guy the boss was talking to the other day. Oh, here, hi John, yeah. How long you been here? How long have we all been here? Oh, and as Jacob Marley said to Scrooge, you know, about being always a good man of business. He said, I should have made people my business, but not in a nasty way. It means in a caring way, like buying and so like understanding each other. You know, about people, understanding what the value in people is. And like that film, The Langoliers. If you've ever seen it, The Langoliers, the horror, science fiction, horror type thing based on a Stephen King movie. It was a TV thing adaptation. It's like 3 hours long, a full movie. Watch it if you can. The Langoliers, and it's talking about we get all kinds of people in society, but it's like at the end of the day, what have we got? And that's what it is. I'd like to say thank you for watching this video, and you take care now. Thank you.